Really excited for this podcast. We've been trying to make this happen for a while, so very excited to be here. Thanks for the invite.
It's Monday morning and I'm feeling energized. I'm feeling in flow. And what a wonderful way to start the week. I'd like to say hi to our fellow hub leaders. We're recording this podcast episode for you, for our community, and I'm very excited to see more of these episodes coming up.
Amazing. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And actually, I was thinking about the methodology from podcast. The two of us, after this, I can do a podcast with someone else, and then I give him or give her the flag, and then they do a podcast with someone else, and that could be an interesting way to do it. I
I love
know
that.
Hassan wanted to do one.
Mohammed,
We can try.
Mohammed too. I think we all want to, but maybe we need to find like the way to do it. And I like the metaphor with the flag, Like, okay, so if you get the
Yeah,
flag, you need to pass it on to someone else.
exactly. Now, for example, I have a podcast with someone else,
Go
and
for
I'll
it.
give them the flag.
Go for it. Let's do it.
Sounds good.
Okay, so this is the second episode of the Young AI Leaders podcast. The first one was Otto, the Lisbon hub leader. This is Eugenio, the hub leader of Mexico, and Valeria, the hub leader of Bogota. So Eugenio, they want to know you better. I already know you quite well, but please tell us a bit about yourself.
For sure. Thank you, Vale. It's an honor to be here for the second episode. Well, I'm Eugenio Salas. I'm the Mexico City hub leader. And this story started when I started this degree in Mexico City in Tec de Monterrey. That's the name of the college. And it's called Business Intelligence. They taught me how to start analyzing data and how to start creating strategies to monetize data. In that moment, I realized the importance of information and how valuable it is. I started to get very passionate about data and artificial intelligence. I knew that artificial intelligence was going to become super important for everyone. I didn't expect it was going to happen so fast. I finished my degree 4 years ago. I didn't have ChatGPT to help me during my assessments. Now that I talk with other classmates that are just having their graduation, they use ChatGPT for everything. So I studied that, and then while studying, I started working in the data governance field in different companies. And data governance is this field where you need to create data quality, make sure the data is safe and secure, create a framework for the data management for the company. And I started to also create a startup while I was working. And the name of the startup is Alexandria. Alexandria is a project based on the Alexandria Library in Egypt. I was there like 4 years ago in Alexandria in Egypt, and that blew my mind. Egypt in general is super cool. I mean, being able to see all the monuments, the pyramids, it's just mind-blowing, to be honest. And that was very inspiring. So I decided to come to Mexico and start my startup, trying to replicate the Alexandria with our artificial intelligence, because Alexandria was destroyed and a lot of knowledge went missing. But now we have access to everything, all the knowledge that we want. We just need to democratize this technology and make this technology accessible to everyone. And that's the future of education. So I developed with my team, I have a team of multidisciplinary profiles, psychologists, professionals in education, developers, and more. And we developed this AI agent that can personalize education based on your needs. If you're more of a reader, we're going to give you text. If you're more visual, we're going to give you images or videos or audio. So it's a multimodal AI agent. And we're using technologies like retrieval augmented generation to make sure we just give the necessary context to the agent. And we are offering this solution to high schools. We did a whole design thinking methodology in order to be able to know what are the needs of the people, of the students, the needs of the teachers, the needs of the schools. And it was a very interesting process. It's human-centered. solutions. So that's the idea that I applied with to be a part of the Young AI Leaders community. And I was named the AI leader in Mexico City. So that's a short resume of the story of why I'm here.
Okay, that's wonderful. I love the focus on like Alexandria and knowledge and that focus in it on education. And I'd love to see how that turns out and the impact it will have. So actually, Otto was also a startup founder. So maybe there's a theme here.
No, I admire what Otto is doing. It's a psychology related startup, right?
Like a
That's what I mean.
therapy agent.
That's
Mhm.
brilliant. Yes, Vale. But that's my story. But how about you? Tell me more about you. We haven't talked about your inspiration to be here.
Okay, so every time I think about where it happened or where it emerged, I always go back and further back. But essentially, I'm fascinated by the world of intercomputational reality and how that affects real reality. So, how algorithms make hypotheses of the world, and that has an impact in the real world. One of the books that got me into this, because I actually, for uni, I went to do political science. And I thought that my mission was to be a peacemaker and I wanted to do peace building all over the world. That was an original dream. But while I was in college, I found this book called Weapons of Math Destruction.
What?
Weapons of Math Destruction. You're going to love it, by Kathy O'Neill. And
Okay.
that book coincided with me taking a class on social media and disinformation campaigns for electorate periods. So how politicians and different interest groups kind of weaponize data, weaponize social media and the narrative to make their way or have discourse that becomes dominant. And I thought that that was fascinating. And I linked it back to my previous self in high school who was extremely fascinated with science, super STEM oriented. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be the most important topic for my life, for the future, for humanity. So I'm going to focus on tech and humanity. And from there, a whole lot of things have happened. I started working at the Ministry of Technology and Communications, and I learned so much. I had a really great boss. He was very supportive, and I was able to go to Geneva to AI for Good last year. And once I got there, like a switch flipped and I made the connection. I'm like, okay, so this is what it looks like on a global scale. And
Yeah.
how does it look like in Colombia? And what do we need to bridge to become competent and be addressing the things that we need to in like a public policy scale or innovation scale? Because I noticed quite quickly that Latin America was just not really part of the conversation.
Yeah.
And from there, I worked in a few startups. I worked in a deep tech one that had like an energy so a storage solution that didn't use lithium, which I think is fascinating. The other one was an AI agent startup. And from both of these, I started to grapple with the whole notion of like raising capital, raising funds. How does growth work? How do you govern like small teams and have like high impact teams? And all of these skills I'm putting to work in the hub. And
Yeah.
as soon as the Young AI Leaders program came out, I applied. I was like, hey guys, at the startup, because I was doing the startup and the ministry. I let go of the startup. I'm like, I actually want to focus on AI for good. So bye. I applied, I got selected, and it's been an incredible journey ever since. But I do notice that my focus is on getting to real world use cases and how
Yeah.
that connects to society and social phenomena.
Yeah, it's super exciting.
Mhm.
I noticed how many skills you have, like fundraising and leadership and startup skills and public policy, for example. It's pretty cool how talented you and all the communities. I mean, meeting all different young AI leaders, you learn a lot from them. and it's very inspiring. I love this program. I think it's super helpful, and it's gonna be life-changing for a lot of people, and we're gonna make a big impact. We need to bring some solutions to Latin America, and I don't think there's a lot of young people that are paying attention to this, but we need to bring the attention to what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. This program has been one of my favorite things ever. Like meeting you, becoming friends. I mean, we already gave a talk together in Geneva. Maybe we can dive into that and how it happened.
For
But
real. Yeah.
it's been an incredible journey. I love that every day I'm like talking to you, I'm talking to Sebastian from Argentina, to Dave from Mexico as well. I'm talking to like Amna from Abu Dhabi, and it's just so cool. Like even Tuso from Lesotho, he's so sweet. I remember we met him.
Yeah, lots of teachers.
I do want to have it because being in Geneva was next level. Like last year, I was there, but this year was totally different because you meet all these young people. You've seen them in calls, you follow them, you see them on LinkedIn, and you already know that you share a lot of values with them because one thing is to be a hub leader. That takes a lot of time, energy, commitment, effort. Another one is to be at the conference. That took another level of commitment. So the people that actually made it there are like really into this. So we instantly bonded. It was like having a group of friends really quickly, all young and super powerful, super bright. And it just made the whole experience so wonderful.
Totally, totally. It was next level, very surreal for me. And I was talking to you about this whole journaling process that I normally do to, we can say, manifest or try to place ideas so I can make them happen. But some years ago, I was just writing about what were the goals I wanted to accomplish in a couple of years. And this happened in Geneva. I never expected this was going to happen so fast, or that, like, I mean, also meeting and having an international community of brilliant minds is a dream come true, to be honest. And I learned a lot from everyone. I mean, Dino, Mohammed from Cairo, Emmanuel, Christian. No, these are my friends, to be honest. These are my friends. This is people I admire, and I can't wait for next year. I mean, if this was cool, next year it's gonna be full of young AI leaders for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know, it was so cool because we actually shared an Airbnb. It was wonderful because we were like working together for this talk to make it the best we could. We were living together, going out, the whole group was there. And I don't know, I feel like we left Latin America extremely well represented.
I think so. Extremely well, maybe more than we should.
Maybe we
But yeah.
should share the spotlight.
But yeah, that Airbnb was amazing. I don't know how awkward it was to live with Mexicans for what, like 5 days? But
It
you
was
said it.
great. I don't know. I've been talking to a lot of people in Colombia, and apparently, like culturally, we do have a lot of similarities between like Mexico and Colombia. A friend was there to do his exchange program, and he's like, I love Mexican people. Like, we get along so well. We just vibe, and it just works really well. Like, we complement each other. Like, I actually think we get along better with between like Colombians and Mexicans than just Colombians for some
For
reason.
real.
I feel like you guys are warmer, like friendlier, I don't know, like more empathetic, and it just feels a lot more welcoming.
It was an instant friendship for sure.
Mm.
I mean, it was like we knew each other before. Well, we had been talking for months since the beginning of the program, but getting together in Switzerland and going to the lake and swimming and getting some fondue and also going partying, pretty epic. It
Yeah,
was an trip.
it really was very epic. And I don't know, it was definitely my favorite part of the summit. Just meeting you guys, hanging out, getting to know you better, understanding your stories, where it came from, like all the different personality types. It was truly amazing and very inspiring. And to be honest, this like creating a hub in your city, that's a big task. Like it requires a lot of time and commitment, but the powerful thing is that you really don't feel like you're alone going through this. And I really strongly recommend that everyone find their person that they trust within the community and work and collaborate amongst each other, you know? Like me and Eugenio, like I call you and you call me anytime we're like iffy about something or struggling with a certain decision, with a certain circumstance, or worried or anxious. Like these things come up and we're not perfect. And this is still like an ongoing process, but having that level of trust and friendship and I don't know, commitment with someone else that you can like call when things are complicated. Oof, that's been life saving.
Yeah, I'm grateful for that. And maybe we can talk about the challenges that we've had, but also I wanted to ask you about your top two, top three stories in Geneva.
Okay, that's a great question. So the first one, oh, top two or top three?
If you have three, that would be great.
Okay,
If- Just the best one.
okay. So I think my favorite was probably being at the lake in the last day before going to the airport. I really enjoyed being by the lake, relaxing, listening to music, being with you guys. The weather was beautiful, the lake was wonderful, and we laughed so much. You know, it was like the whole like, I don't know, closing of it that was extremely beautiful. Another top experience was meeting you in person. I honestly really enjoyed meeting a few people in the Leaders Lounge. I enjoyed meeting Ali Reza, who is an incredible person. Like he's doing like all these genetic studies and genetic programs in Harvard and the UAE. Then there was Ahmed, a high executive at Huawei, and a few others. Oh, Dani from Ashoka she
Well,
was so cool.
yeah, totally.
Meeting other ambassadors of women in AI, that was super cool as well. So I have a bunch. I don't know if I can pick the top three, but
Those are
the talk and the lake, probably top two.
good choices.
What about you?
For me, I would say, yeah, being at the lounge with you at the VIP lounge, it was very exciting because I was just following you. You were like, pum pum, like doing networking without stopping. You introduced me to a lot of people, interesting people. I think that was very meaningful. Also, the talk for sure. I was super nervous about giving that talk. I remember me waking up at 6 a.m., 7 a.m. in the morning while everyone was sleeping, because we had like a very nice terrace, right? Or how can you say that? Like a deck,
Like a balcony.
like a balcony. Yeah, we had like a very nice balcony with an amazing view of the mountains. And I woke up like 6, 7 a.m. to start like giving my talk. And it was like a 10-minute speech or less. I was just practicing and that was pretty cool. Just I was very nervous and the moment when we gave the talk, it was very epic also. We have some footage of that moment.
I'm editing it at the moment, but
You
this
are?
AI platform is like super slow. I don't know, man. I'll
I'm
make
gonna
it.
create a
Huh?
I'm gonna create a reel for Instagram.
From there, one click of a button, we'll have a bunch of reels and we can pick
Oh,
the ones that we like the best.
send that to me, please.
Mm-hmm.
And also hanging out with the Mexican team. They are pretty cool. Danny is a lot of fun. Alejandro is a lot of fun also. It's him. He's hilarious. I mean, he's very quiet sometimes, but he does very funny stuff, like the drone thing. That was
The drunk thing?
one thing. Yes,
Which one? The Mexican water? Ah, the drone.
we we crashed the drone.
Oh, the drone. One night we were going out. We were with the Global Shapers as well. I don't know who came up with the idea that we needed to take a group photo with the drone because there were so many of us.
Yes.
Okay, so Itzin pulls out this drone out of nowhere and then like turns it on and like super pro, like lifts it off from his hand. And he's like, and I think you told him like, oh, be careful with it. And he's like, yeah, yeah, sure. As fast as I've ever seen, crashes it into the biggest building there is. And we're like
Everyone
standing
was
there smiling, getting ready for the picture, and we just see it crash super hard into the building.
and it's like a $2,000 drone. So
No.
yeah, but I feel bad because it was my idea. But yeah, those
He
people,
crashed it hard.
I mean, I think the Mexican hub members were really getting along with everyone. So that made me very happy. And we also met very interesting people like Daniela from Ashoka, Lavon from the Scott Morgan Foundation. We are doing a very interesting collaboration with her. We're going to bring the solutions from the Scott Morgan Foundation and Lenovo to the citizens in Mexico City with ALS. This is a neurodegenerative disease that some people
Yeah,
have, and we're bringing them their voice back with AI
from the Scott Galloway Foundation.
from the Scott Morgan Foundation.
Morgan, right. Oh, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
No, and with Danny, with your impact lead, like we were like bullying each other the whole time. It's like, oh no, but who do you think you are? It was so funny. Like you would always catch us like fighting. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it was great. And the talk was also, I think it was a very important and special moment for me.
For me too. I think it's the most important talk I've ever given, or at least for me personally, how I felt it. I was super nervous that day. I woke up and I'm like, why did I do this? Why am I putting myself through so much like stress and pain? I honestly haven't been able to enjoy the summit that much because I'm like overthinking all of the presentation. But I think it turned out well.
Yeah.
I'd actually like to share a little bit of why this talk happened, like how
Sure.
it came about. Because I know a lot of hub leaders, they also wanted to have a speaking engagement, and it was not possible for a few of them. So what happened to us was also like a bit of luck and perseverance, I guess. I realized that the things that we were doing in the hub, that we needed support, we needed funding, we needed visibility urgently. Like this isn't something that we should wait like one more year for, because things have been happening really fast. We've grown together as a hub a lot, like so much, and I felt that it was my duty to make sure that we get the most out of being in Geneva. So I messaged Fred Warner, the director of AI for Good, and I sent him this long ass paragraph of why this was not only necessary but strategic, and how I was going to do it, and how we were going to involve the whole community of the young AI leaders. Then it happened, and I called you immediately and my team. But honestly, it was that conversation with my impact lead that led me to do that one final push.
Yeah, that was very bold, and it was a great idea. I think this opens doors for lots of members for the next years. And thanks for letting me be part of it.
Of course. And I think it was also a great idea that we got other hub leaders to go on stage, have a special recognition to Alexandra that has been putting so much work into this. And it was her idea. It's created so much impact already. So just huge admiration and thanks to her. And now I'd like to actually dive into the intricacies of being a hub leader and what challenges you faced, opportunities, growth, how you've governed your hub.
Yeah, good question, Vale. I think it's a very complicated topic. The community leading and the leadership skills that you need to have to make impact happen. Because also, as you're doing, the Mexico City hub, it's growing fast and getting some attention, at least here in Mexico City, from different stakeholders. I think I've been learning a lot about leadership. I think leadership is something that you are currently in continuous learning. And I'm also trying to make all the opportunities accessible to my hub, to the hub. I think at the beginning I started to make some decisions as a hub leader and making all the members follow me. But now I'm learning that to motivate and make them all participate, it's necessary to let them be part of the decision making. So now I'm trying that, and I think that's gonna be quite useful so everyone can have a voice in the hub. So that was a challenge, but I think it's just something that grows exponentially, and you need to be very conscious about your responsibility as a hub leader because AI is a really important topic that we are living nowadays, and the impact that we could have and the responsibility that we have as hub leaders is super important. So we need to be aware of the decisions that we take. And just I think one of the biggest priorities for me now is making sure the community feels comfortable and that they feel this community as a safe place. And if that happens, if I can make that happen, everything is just gonna work and everything will flow. So that's the way I'm gonna do it, and that I'm working with those priorities right now. That means creating like a recruitment process, some guidelines personalized for the hub, and other documents that will give the hub some structure. So that's like the challenges that I've been facing, but I see that as a normal situation in my leadership progress. So I think it's just learning from what you're doing great and what you're not doing well, and start doing some pivoting for sure.
Yeah, I think there's a balance between flexibility of mind and your ability to pivot and sustaining a specific structure and direction of the team. So I think there's a period of testing and a period for revising if that worked or not. Communicating that has not been the easiest because people think that a test or an experiment that you do is the decision and how it will always be. But it's like, no, 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 we are seeing how we do with this structure, see what works and what doesn't, evolve it, revise it, change it in 3 months. Because there's a lot of learning that happens in those 3 months, and the needs and the context changes, and we're still figuring out how to do this. We were given some community guidelines that were very broad and then figure it out. And that's the beauty of it. It's not really easy. But for instance, in my hub, we instilled this experiment of having cells, like working groups. So there's 3 people in the leadership team. We're each going to take on one group, and we're going to make sure that that group does well. And we define like our KPIs and so on. So for the consulting one, we're doing consulting as well for the education sector. So I'm interested to see how your agent works. And if it actually works, maybe we can bring it here. That one has worked really well. It's like full of A players. They make a really good team. And since we have this other stakeholder that is like actively pushing this and so on, it works.
Yeah.
Not perfectly, but it works. Then there was the learning path. So my vision for the learning path is that we're all young. We still need to learn a lot of things. Some know more about other things than whatever. But how can we make sure we're all learning something at a given point and that we're filling the gaps that we have? Because a lot of us, we're not that technical. Like I didn't study engineering or data science. So for me, I'm still filling those blocks of the technical skills needed, the CS background, the statistics and the data. So I know I'm not the only one. And a lot of us want to be coding, that we want to do like more complicated tasks, but we need some like help and guidance from the people from our team that are already good at that. So that was the vision for the learning path. But honestly, it has not been easy to narrow it down, to get into like a structured KPIs. Not everyone has the same level of commitment because this is a volunteer organization, right? And actually, a bit of competition started emerging from the different cells, which I thought was fascinating. I'm like, guys, what the hell? There's no competition. Like, we're doing this for each other. Like, not at all. But it emerged and it happened. I'm like, okay, interesting.
I don't think
And
that's bad. It makes everyone
be on
show their
edge.
excitement.
Yeah. Healthy competition could be good as well. And then the last cell, well, for that, we had some mentors that were really good experts in energy and data centers. And I'm like, maybe there's probably a startup idea in this. Let's explore that question. Let's explore these topics. And the learning from that is that this like competition between like cells has not been like the best. And I think the learning path doesn't need as many members. We just need like 2 or 3 that make sure that there's accountability and a plan. But it's something that we all do. Like we are all learning. So there's no given learning path. We just do it. And then I opened something up, which is that they can submit projects of their own. So with Danny, he created these forms, and everyone that is working on something that is AI for Good related, we can submit it. And we're going to vote on the projects that we're going to focus on. And based on those projects, we're going to fundraise. So I actually already registered as an NGO last week. So I don't want to pressure people. Like this took me around 7 months to do, to finally execute on. And with that, that opens up the possibility of funding. So I am engaging the mentors to like look at the projects, and we're all going to vote on which ones we're going to focus on. Getting multiple perspectives because I have so many blind spots. I'm still learning a lot of the technical skills, but I'm really good at the team building, leadership, and orientation, which is my role. So how can I enable everyone to be the best at what they are, what they do, and contribute to the community?
It's amazing. I'm gonna start doing that. I think I'm gonna make the regional lead focus on regional projects. So the impact lead develop some KPIs for the regional and the local projects. And the impact lead will be the one that is making sure every project and the progress is happening. And I'm just gonna focus on team building and the different strategies of team building. For example, creating departments like the marketing department, the education or the workshop department, the research department. And there's going to be, because I have the first generation of the members, I want them to be the leaders for the next members that arrive. They all can take decisions on their own department.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think I'm going to try that.
you actually point out to something that is very key, which is member onboarding. So for me, I thought it was way too hectic to have like an always open member application form that you can just apply anytime that you want. So I've done it by cohorts. So this first cohort consisted of 13 people. And now that we've completed like the first half of the year, we did some evaluations and we saw, okay, which ones have been the most committed, which ones have been the least committed, which ones have not been committed at all.
Yeah.
So from there, we made some decisions and we made some call outs like, hey, we're working on this. We want to know if you're actually in it or not, what's been going on. And for the ones that it's like almost zero, it's like, I'm sorry, but we have to let you go. We're opening up this new cohort to support the projects that we vote on. That will also be a selection criteria that we'll take in mind. I have already agreed with my leadership team that at least 2 of us need to be in that interview. And I actually want to find specifically the young AI leaders in Colombia, like the ones that are already leaders. First of all, study their case, how they did it, why they do it, and understand, okay, how, like from a theory of change perspective, why are they there and what intervention can we do that will lead more people into a similar path.
Yeah, that's a good strategy. The recruitment process is a whole different strategy that we all need to pay attention. We will learn a lot from Amna from Abu Dhabi. She has like 15 members already. So we're gonna have a meeting with her and she's gonna give us some tips. But yeah, I think we need to tailor all the needs from each hub. And I think all the impact on, because we're very ambitious, right? All the that we want to do won't happen if we don't have a strong community.
Exactly. Yeah, and we're probably one of the most committed hubs that I know. And I can see how this can put pressure on others. But for us, in my defense, is that we really are aware that Latin America is lagging behind significantly. And we're cooperating to the level we wish our governments did.
True. Yeah. That's how every change happens. I was in Estonia some weeks ago and I was interviewing some people that implemented the digital government in Estonia. And they said after the war with Russia, the Soviet Union ended and we were just in ruins. We didn't have anything. We need to rebuild from scratch. And the government couldn't do it alone. So academia, all the students and the different private companies started working together with the government to create the standards for data management. And in that way, all the data processes that are really strong in Estonia happened because the students started working with the private companies to help the government. So that's the way it happens to create big changes and big impact.
Yeah, exactly. And we're still learning. I feel like there's still so many skills and abilities that I'm weak on. Like the more I know and the more I do, the more I realize my limitations. So then I'm looking for a coach, like a career coach and personal coach that helps me navigate the stage of my life, because there's like this vision and where you want to get to and where you are now. And sometimes it can be overwhelming, and it kind of goes in the same direction of like, I call you when I'm struggling with something hub related, you call me. But I think that notion of asking for help, connecting with others, brings so much value, not just for you that you are looking for that support, but also in creating a relationship. So don't be
Totally.
afraid to reach out when you need support. And we need to be wrapping up now.
Okay. Yeah, it was a long talk for sure. I can talk for hours with you.
We already talked so much and still we could talk more.
Thanks for the invite, Valeria. It was amazing. And yeah, if any hub leader or members have any question or want to just talk and have a cool conversation, don't hesitate to reach out.
Exactly. So now you have the flag. And I think Otto should have the flag as well so that he can interview someone else. And that way we can balance each other, like have multiple episodes and so on.
I have the flag. So wait for the next episode, probably with some. I have many options. San Francisco with Chris or Hassem, Mohammed. Let's see. Let's see. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next episode.
Thank you, Vale. I admire you. Keep making big impact with your hub.
Thank you, Euge. I admire you as well. And this has been wonderful so far.
Take care.